And I believe it's one of the biggest downfall that we have in the steel pan fraternity today.
What was your inspiration to become an arranger? Who or what inspired you?
Parents was my biggest influences in my craft. I never saw the day around that time knowing that I will have been a musician. But during the passage of being in the panyard with my parents, a love and a passion was growing with a household full of musicians who love steel pan music. The year was 1987, watching Panama Final. And this band from 138 Charlotte Street came up on stage and was doing a song arranged by Dr. Jet Sandro called Pan in A minor. And I was like, wow, whoever this man is, I want to be like him. And everything from there then on, I was just listening music from Amoco Renegades, and the man was flawless. The year was 1989. I received a call from my music teacher, and she received a call from an individual in Trinidad. It was Dr. Jet Samuel. He said that he liked what he heard from Devon Stewart because I took part in a school junior steel band festival. I knew at that point in time that music was my life, and I owe it all to my parents. I never ever knew that I will have become the arranger for BPTT Renegades. I came home and was raised in a house where I saw my mom coming home with a pan stick. I saw my dad coming home with a pan stick. I saw my dad bringing home pans. I saw my dad taking me and walking me to the pan yard. And this is what I saw from young, and this is what I accepted, and this is what I loved. But I received stories among stories, and my whole concept about it was to break the barriers of the stories of the past and try to make it something worthwhile for me, playing steel pan music as a representation for the fraternity, being a pillar and a role model for young ones coming up, so that they can also believe that there is a life worth living for playing steel pan music. I always go with the mantra that I am a winner. Competition doesn't defy you being a winner.
How is being an arranger different from playing in a steel band or performing as a solo player?
I could safely say I went through the ranks in just being a looker, an admirer, a lover, started to play, loved playing, wanted to be an arranger, got the opportunity to arrange, and now I'm an arranger. It was a testing time. You are being placed in an environment where you have to compete amongst many to be accepted to go from point A to point B. They're looking to see this one mistake, this bad mistake, this and that to happen, to make some kind of remarks or statements about you ain't playing it good or you can't make it good enough.
Looking for any downfall.
They're looking for any downfall. Being around the premium bands in Trinidad, every section is overloaded. Players and the section leaders looking for any little fault to cut. I was always on my P's and Q's because I want to play. I want to make sure that I'm there. Graduate from player to an arranger. I saw the things that was taking place back in the day with me. So I like to give individuals the opportunity to make mistakes because the panyard is the place to make a mistake. Nobody in this whole life that they live in was born perfect. And when you make that mistakes, and I see that mistake, I will never make you feel less of yourself, embarrass you in front of 100+ people, to make you feel discouraged. Panyard is an environment for upliftment for any and everybody. As great as I may be as a player and as an arranger, I make mistakes too. So when I see these things taking place in the past, it was an easy transition for me to make this individual in my time as an arranger feel comfortable, feel the warmth, the love, the attention that they deserve when playing music as a player, because it gives them the sense of appreciation knowing that they are being loved by who's around them. It worked for me in my whole arranging career. I am very, very happy and grateful for the players that I have had in my life. The personality is what will sell you as an individual and make you as an individual going forward in this life. It may not be music, anything in general. Never ever believe that you have reached the rank of an arranger and believe that you are higher than the player. You are also representing being a player because you were a player.
How important would you rank music literacy as an arranger?
The late great Professor Fillmore a master arranger, performer. He has done what he has done in the face of God and unto mankind with his craft and his gift, but he has no knowledge about reading and writing music. Against to the great Ray Holman, who was a university professor teaching, or Professor Liam Teague, teaching and writing. These guys have the music literacy on point. It might be a selfish statement to make, but sometimes I make the statements, common sense speak before book sense. I might be wrong in saying it. If it offends anybody, so be it, but that's my opinion. Stevie Wonder is a blind guy. He doesn't see music, he hears music, feel music, and play music. It's not about comparing anybody, It's vital in its both energies. Somebody who have it. If somebody who don't have it and still have the attributes and being the individual who have it, so be the case.
What is your process of arranging?
I like to make the blind see, make the deaf hear. I like to tell stories, relate to the lyrical content of the original composition, and use some of the musical idioms and motifs that are there, making the average listener listen what is happening, not having the music be all over the place and making lose attention of what is taking place in the music. Less is more. Trying to define the Devon Stewart sound, the Devon Stewart brand, the Devon Stewart flavor. It took a time. It was just about digging deep, having the opportunity to listen to different genres of music outside of Trinidad and Tobago's culture, taking the ideas that I received at the point in time and fusioning it back where I originally came from. No one man own a phrase. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do is fundamental. It was there for us to use. There's so many ways to use it. Somebody might use it in 1960, come back in 2022. It wasn't stolen. The brand and style and the flavor that Devon Stewart possessed with his music and styling of arranging, it's so unique that nobody do love it more. It's still under construction.
How would you describe the Devon Stewart sound?
Fun-loving, entertaining, vibes, energy, storytelling, suspense, you name it, man. There's so many sides, so many categories that you could implant a Devon Stewart arrangement. Some people tend to use 2018 as a landmark, which was Year for Love. You could feel what was taking place with the performance, relate to the story that I wanted to do, see the fire, take you to hell to feel how hell feels, and just burning fire and all these kind of things. So the arrangement sells the individual, the individual sells themselves to the arrangement. I have so much love, and the love that I have, it comes right back out to the music.
What is next for Devon?
For me, the sky is not the limit. As long as you're living and you love what you do, you always find a challenge in front of you. The word complacency must never ever be in your vocabulary. Don't feel that the stars is the furthest place around the universal reach. Nah, there's somewhere where no man has gone before. I would love to see this instrument, this music that we have here in Trinidad and Tobago, be respected for what it is. I would love to see this instrument become a compulsory instrument in the school system in Trinidad and Tobago. I would love to see this instrument be a part of everyday life of an individual that can call themselves a musician and be given the respect as an occupation. I would love to see this instrument be on a plateau to receive the accolades and respect through all the different musical awards that have been existed. ARIA Awards, Grammy Awards. Where Devon Stewart see himself in this is to try to penetrate the pathways that is in front of me, to lay that platform, open the door, make connections. Right now the instrument is seen as one thing only, like pan is only panorama. And there's a lot of room for this instrument to blossom. It starts from the people that represent red, white, and black. I'm not comparing my instrument culture with anybody else's culture. I'm talking about what my culture, what my instrument can give. I know we can do better. The name of the game is unity. The name of the game is love. And if we all can all come together and project that way forward, the instrument will move mountains, because it still have a lot of countries who have never have this instrument in their face. So my part in the distant future is to try to penetrate the market outside, opening doors, making things happen for the younger generation. And if we leave it as it is, it can come a dormant situation where they may not feel encouraged to go further. That's why Devon Stewart choose music and steel pan as an occupation. I love it, and I'm going to try to make my best become a compatible tool to make this instrument be loved and embraced by many and every human being on planet Earth. This music could become an instrument where we can have an orchestra doing soundtrack for movies. Check out the Caribbean. Let's check out the Caribbean. Jamaica is Grammy Award. Cuba is Grammy Award. Martinique, Guadeloupe is Grammy Award. Barbados is Grammy Award. Trinidad and Tobago has pan. We have an instrument that God has blessed us with, and we're still trying to find the way out. but we still concentrate on one thing. We could never get away out with that one thing. I'm not saying the one thing is not good, but the one thing can become and blossom into different things that we could all enjoy. That is my projection. My projection is to be on a trend-setting mode, to put the instrument first, going forward, and creating avenues and pathways for the younger generation to see that there is a life where you can choose music as a livelihood.